there's a lot of Miami fans who were sold on what was going to be. And here's the thing. I've heard the same thing with Randy Shannon when Randy Shannon was hired. I heard the same thing when Mark Richt was hired. I heard the same thing when Manny Diaz was hired. It was always, here's a Miami guy. A Miami guy was somehow going to be what was going to turn it around for Miami, with Randy Shannon being a Miami native and a former Miami player, Mark Richt being a former Miami player, Manny Diaz being the born and raised in Miami, the son of the former mayor of the city of Miami. Mario was supposed to be that guy. What concerns me is if you're the University of Miami, knowing what is here in the month of November, you've got games left with your biggest rival, Florida State. You've got to go travel to Clemson, and you finish off the regular season with the defending ACC champions, Pitt. In between there, you've got Georgia Tech. There is a chance that Miami could end the season not being bowl eligible. And for a team that was predicted to win the ACC Coastal, that would literally, I don't want to say it would completely implode what Mario Cristobal's mission is at the University of Miami, but it would set it back a little bit. So I think that's the question you have to have right now at this point is what will Miami bring to the table? Do I think Miami has the talent on their roster to compete with Florida State and possibly beat Florida State? Yes, they are a talented roster. Do they have the maturity to get it all together and beat Florida State? And you have to look at it and say a blowout loss to Middle Tennessee State, who has not won a game since, a blowout loss to Duke, literally going 4 overtimes with Virginia, a team that, yes, Virginia did beat Georgia Tech, but I would argue that Virginia is just as bad as Georgia Tech at that rate. That's
Georgia Tech's backup quarterback. That's who they
are. Absolutely. No,
right.
Absolutely. Yep. But I think you've got to look at it from that fact that Miami has not lived up to expectations at this point. And I would say to an extent, I said Florida State would be 4-4 after the month of October. So I think there's an argument that Florida State at 5-3, playing 4 teams left in their schedule who are 4-4 at this point, I think there's a legitimate argument that Florida State has exceeded expectations so far at this point in the season.
The funniest thing about Miami fans, and Miami fans in the chat, y'all please feel free to educate me because I envy you.
Oh, God.
I am jealous of you because you're the only fan base that could somehow take somebody and feel like you can reinvent them like the world doesn't know who they are or can't look at their resume. You took Randy Shannon, who was a part of your losing stuff, and you anointed Randy Shannon. You took Al Golden, who nobody believed in, and you made us believe Al Golden was going to do something. You made us believe Mark Richt was a badass, and you said people hated you when nobody hates Mark Richt. Everybody likes Mark Richt. You took little Manny, who, remember, I tried to tell, I think I said it on your show too, Mark. We know him. He was little Manny. He was our videographer. Like, he shot videos at Florida State and broke down film like his snaps. Like, never played, just broke down films. And you made us believe he was this goon when he was little Manny. And you celebrated him going to the Nike Coach of the Year clinic and giving guys Bud Light Lamaritas, which aren't bad beverages on a hot day. But when you go to coaches' clinics, you like liquor and you know, but whatever. And then you took Manny Cristobal, and you tried to make us believe that, forget FIU, like FIU didn't exist. Like, he won like 10 games maybe.
Hey. He won the Little Caesars Bowl at FIU. So let's give him some credit. Free Little Caesars pizza for the media. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, I graduated in 2002. I just celebrated my 20th high school reunion. Miami, that was the last time you won any kind of that was your last national championship. But every year since you've won that, you were saying you're back. I envy the energy that you guys come with. I mean, you guys were on boats with Manny, which wasn't a yacht. It was like I don't know what it was, but yachts. I've been on yachts. Shad Khan has a yacht. That's not what you guys have. Then when you get this line-ass Cuban, what's his name, Ruiz comes in, and you guys are going to just skip city planning. Like, it takes years to build high schools. Like, they have to zoning, all this. We got money. We're going to just make a high school disappear and move it. Then you're going to buy a city park that's not for sale. Like, you just let guys lie to you, and you get super excited, and you believe everything, and you believe that you hired Kevin Steele. And I want to say this respectfully. This was 2007. I would be super excited to have Kevin Steele as my defensive coordinator. The problem is, it's 2022, so it's like you got Kevin Steele, and he's actually not bad playing. He's not performing bad. You get Gaddis, who was the reigning guy of the year, but got walked out, assistant coach of the year, but was let go. It's like you get these things, and you're saying how you should be competing for the ACC. Josh Pate gets on here and lies and says, you guys are the best. 247 has you a pinned tweet of a commitment. You have all this momentum to crap the bed. You legitimately should be a 2-win team, and you know that. But every day you still wake up and you have a commitment to go talk trash on social media as if you guys are the badasses. You were going to beat Bama, and I told you, as a guy who made that statement, you don't want that Bama smoke. You're not ready for that. You said you're going to beat Texas A&M. You played what I thought was the worst football game I ever saw until I watched a little bit of the Virginia-Miami game. You got Steven Garcia. Is that Steven Garcia, right?
Jay Garcia, my
bad. Jay Garcia, who was you got a top quarterback, and you somehow have managed to make it look like he can't throw the forward pass unless it's to the other team. You've got top offensive linemen. You've got a good recruiting class, but I always ask, when has Miami not recruited well? You've got talent. You just have bad coaching, and it's all because you're chasing the ghost of cocaine past. It's not the 80s. Let it go, and just, I don't understand, but I do envy the energy that Miami fans have and the confidence and the swag, because it's definitely unmerited.
And let's give Mario a little bit of credit. I've known Mario personally from his time at FIU. He's a very good guy. I think he can lead Miami back to success. I think he's dealing with a certain level of Manny did not leave that program the way it should. Manny basically left that program in shambles.
That's a bit extreme. The roster's not bad. He recruited pretty well. No, he was not up to the task. He's not a Power 5 coach.